Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our new Big Brother 22 All-Stars live feed spoilers. We are going to talk through the episode tonight. We'll go a little bit into what's going on from the feeds. We are now in the night before the triple eviction, which... This is the thing. I've already said I'm not usually super big into these, but the reality is that when nothing is going on and it doesn't seem like anyone's gonna make any big crazy moves when you give them time, let's just go ahead and just kick a couple of these people out of the game.
That's right.
Why? Okay, everybody, you've all won me over to this week, just watching everybody just sit around and play charades and do other nonsense. It's gonna be an interesting day tomorrow, especially given more and more of what we're seeing, but we're going to talk a little bit about the episode first, and before we do, if you guys do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and support us further. Check those links to the store as well as our Patreon.
So the highlight for me was, of course, seeing Otev, and it just, really made me miss my dad and my stepmom because they are super hippies. They are in tie-dye all the time. They're all groovy, peace, and love. So I saw that, and I was like, oh, I miss them. And they're Big Brother fans, too.
I actually thought that Otev was your father, and I was just thinking this whole, if your dad was up there as Otev, couldn't he have done a little, give David more than $10,000. Let's make these people extra mad.
I'll take $10,000, Dad. You can give me $10,000.
It was a pretty fun Otev. I heard on the feeds that, they were certain changes that didn't look or feel the same way as past Otevs because there was a lot of restrictions for stuff they could put in the house, but I think they did a good job of sort of making it feel a little bit like the Otev of old. No real, no physical altercations this time around. Usually we have, somebody has risked severe bodily harm during Otev.
Watching Nicole try to get up that thing, man, I felt for her. I totally would be that exact same person. I have no upper body strength. I have no lower body strength. I don't exercise. I would die in this competition. But she was just laying out in all those beach balls. I was like, yeah, that's a mood. I feel that.
Here's the thing. I have said on these videos about 200 times that I would suck in every single Big Brother competition. I think I could actually be okay in Otev. I don't think I could win, but I think I could last a couple rounds. I'm tall. I can kind of get up that hill pretty easily. I have a decent memory half of the time.
I believe in you.
I would be terrible at finding the things. Yes. I will need the affirmation. I will be great until it comes to the part where I have to actually find something. I can't find anything around the house.
So the other part about this episode that I really actually liked was, and touched me, was when Kevin was talking about that he is mixed background and how he doesn't really fit anywhere. And, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I'm also of a mixed background. I look Caucasian. My dad is Caucasian. My mom is a person of color. She is from Guyana. She is Caribbean. And so I felt that when he was like, oh, I don't fit in here. I don't fit in here. I don't fit in anywhere. I totally understand that.
I think it was a good segment that they put in there. I think it's good to get a little bit more of that context of who Kevin is as a person, because the edit on the show hasn't really given him a lot, and granted, Kevin hasn't always done the most on the feeds other than occasionally make us upset, but there has always been something that is endearing about him. And I remember all the way back, even at the start of Big Brother 11, there were offensive slurs that Brayden was hurling at him. And Brayden, by the way, one of the most offensive house guests to ever be on Big Brother. It's just because he was gone so soon, nobody really talks about him. But it's just he went through that experience. And, but I think Kevin still enjoyed a lot of his Big Brother experience after the fact. We talked a little bit earlier about how he's just been kind of miserable this season. But I hope people can take something away from who he is and sort of his story and what he's fighting for outside of the game, even if we can't really always be that amped about the decisions that he's made strategically within the game.
Kevin, I love you, but man, you have not been playing a great game.
No, he's all over the place, and he's still trying. I will give him credit.
He got so close to winning that.
He did. He was up against Cody.
Yes. When they were going, I was like, oh, here comes the accident. It's coming. It's coming right here.
That's what I thought, too, where Kevin was going to get a blow to the nose or fall, because we knew
they were close.
They were close, and I really appreciate all the effort that he put into that. And yes, I still don't fault David for taking the money. I know they didn't mention him giving money to charity, but I know that's something that he's talked about on the feeds with it.
No, and even the way it was sort of put together on the show, we were taking guesses of why he decided to take that money and not continue on for the veto. I just assumed as a theory that he was like, man, I know I'm not going to win this show, so I'm not leaving with nothing. But when you sort of saw it play out, if this is how it played out, because we know about the editing, that he saw he wasn't going to actually be able to have enough time to get anything other than this. So if he was just going to be out, then why not be out with the money?
Ultimately, that's sort of the thing, whether or not David wants to give money to charity or not, that's his choice. But it is a situation where if he feels safe, and he probably is going to be safe, and I think beyond just that, if you don't think you're probably going to win this competition in the end, why continue to just strain yourself doing it? My favorite part of all of this was Christmas is just getting so turned up over on the sidelines over this whole... She got so, bitter about not even getting picked.
She was so mad. I'm telling you, she's gone tomorrow. I feel it. My prediction is she's gone. She is such a explosive personality, and people are like... You're not picked for a veto and you're gonna act like that, and then David is gonna take $10,000, which doesn't have anything to do with you, and you're gonna act like that. It's a little much. Everybody's gotta live here with you.
Just chill out a little bit, Christmas. You're not even. Yeah, you were a potential backdoor target, but nothing had happened at that point. You're okay. I'll give you my two favorite parts of the episode, comedy wise. Number one, ENZO's diary room, when he's sort of talking about, nobody in here is willing to make any sort of move. All these people are coasting. And then he's just sort of like, yeah, I know I am one of these people too, but I'm better than all these other people.
He's very self-aware, which is what just makes him so endearing.
That's the thing. It's like he can get away with saying I'm better than everyone else in here, and I don't feel like he's like a blowhard or some of that sort. He's good at sort of having that natural sort of charisma. But the other one was a little bit more low-key with Tyler and the cow. At first I was like, okay, Tyler's just sort of mugging it up for the camera with his cow and his confessional about the cow as his new final two, but then those sneaky Big Brother editors had the subtitle of the cow basically saying, oh, I bet you say that to everyone. It was such a great Tyler dig. I appreciated that so much.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good. I thought this was a mostly fun they are doing their best to add a little bit of I don't know, cayenne pepper to what is a very bland meal of a season at the moment.
It was a fun episode. I found myself smiling and laughing and kind of just having a good time, which is, part of what I like about this show. I love all this sort of strategic stuff and all of that. And of course, I like to root for my underdogs, but I also like to have a smile. And anything that has people slipping and sliding and falling over is my type of thing because, I'm secretly 5.
I still hope we have the slip. Clearly, we know that they have an unlimited supply of Crisco that they can use for this. Right. If they didn't blow their entire Crisco budget on Otev tonight.
Yeah.
But okay, we'll transition quickly over here to the feeds because there's no dramatic change right now because Kevin's still going. It's interesting though because I feel like Memphis would do almost anything he could to get David out. And I think secretly, or even not so secretly, some other people are kind of interested in getting David out too. It's just there is so much just fear of Cody. It's sort of like you might as well just make Cody cast the only vote to evict because everybody is just so afraid of doing anything to go against the grain, especially with a double or a triple or whatever they think it is coming up.
Yeah, which is crazy. I feel that if Cody doesn't go in this triple thing that's coming up, that he's probably going to win this show. If they let him go further than this, then he might just give him the check.
Yeah, but these people are all crazy fans because it's there's not even that many people talking about, we got to get Cody out. It's all sort of about, Nicole and Danny, could they get rid of Christmas? I mean, is Tyler somehow in danger? Tyler Christmas, are they going to go after Nicole and Danny? Is David going to be Super Pawn where he just goes up on every occasion?
Yeah, and we even saw tonight in the episode that Nicole is starting to try to sort of work over Christmas a little bit, throw Danny under the bus a little bit. And I get where she's coming from with this. You know, her and Danny, things have been getting a little rocky over there. But so many people do not like Christmas in this game that it seems like if you're going to unhitch your wagon over here with Danny, where more people like her, this is not the right person to sort of put your bet on here.
No, don't hitch too many bets on Christmas in general unless you just think you could beat her at the end. Like, that's the only justification that I have. But it feels kind of like on the feeds that Nicole is almost babysitting Danny at this point, where she's just sort of trying to appease her. And I think she'll work with her if she can work with her. Like, I don't think if Nicole wins HOH, she's going to get Danny out of the game by any means. But I think Danny is kind of still oblivious as to how much danger she's in from a Christmas for some other people. I think she still kind of feels in her head that she might be A-okay when she is definitely not that.
Yeah, even with Cody. Cody has talked about his pecking order, and Danny is in that pretty early.
Let's get to Tyler, because Tyler, this is what Tyler's really good at, is finding a way to sort of just read situations and have conversations with people and slowly extract information. Like, he was talking a lot with Cody about possible nominations if he gets into power and maybe putting up Danny, but sort of going about Danny and Nicole on the block versus Danny and David on the block, and what would be the better situation to ensure Danny goes, but also to ensure Nicole wouldn't want to come after him. And you could just sort of see in the conversation that Cody was trying to steer Tyler a little bit away from Nicole when he could, and I think Tyler can come away from this being like, yeah, Cody and Nicole are really, really close.
Absolutely. That is one of Tyler's strengths in the last game he played.
Yeah.
Same in this game he played. He's very, very social, but he is good at throwing some stuff out there and then just watching what that person does and pulling away from it.
Tyler's starting to get back into the game a little bit here. He had the period of time where it seemed like he just wanted to quit.
Yep.
You're in the home stretch now, Tyler. I think Big Brother 20 Tyler is going to come back up here, and I foresee him winning one of the HOHs during the triple.
Yep.
Like, I think he would be a really good HOH in that point, too, because I don't think he's gunning for David first. I think he's got a lot of different things he needs to sort of work out.
Yeah, I think a Tyler HOH would be all right, because I really don't think that he's just going to go after David. There are other people that he's kind of circling around, and I think that it would be more interesting to have somebody like Tyler in power.
The one other thing that I think is fascinating is ENZO, Memphis, and Christmas. They've weighed a little bit of Nicole versus Danny. Like, is Nicole really the bigger threat of the two of them? And I'm not saying for sure that Nicole would go or anything like that, but finally some people are starting to see this and understand this. Nicole is so much more threatening than Danny is, because Nicole, nobody will ever talk about getting rid of her. She's so well protected. She's sneaky good at a lot of these late game competitions. She studies all the time. You get rid of Nicole because nobody trusts Danny. Danny's a perfect person to kind of stick around and keep with you long term.
Yeah, everybody knows that Danny's been playing everybody. So when you get to the end, yeah, she can use that as an argument, but that's also against her as well, because everyone sitting on the jury will be like, yeah, I remember when you played me too, and now I'm out here and you want my vote. Good luck, lady.
Like, we don't know the mechanics of the triple. We don't know exactly how it's going to work, if it's just one HOH, two HOHs, like any of that sort of stuff. We'll get more in depth on it tomorrow, but my gut tells me right now, I think Kevin, Christmas, Danny, I would not be surprised if those are the three people who end up leaving, though I would like something a bit crazier, kind of like ENZO keeps promising he's going to do something crazy in his diary rooms, but you can easily say that, ENZO, when you don't win the competition.
It is going to be really strange if we come out of this triple and the only woman left in the house is Nicole, or that we just only have one woman left in the house.
It could very well happen.
Because they even talked a little bit about that tonight, about that idea of like, oh, should we really be going after the other women? There's not very many of us left. And, you know, they're not actually listening to what they're saying.
No.
It is correct. We could end up tomorrow with only one woman left in this house.
Yeah.
And it could be Nicole.
It could be, and it's possible Nicole gets a couple of weeks after that, but I just don't see her winning if all these bros are there.
I think it's going to be tough for her to win because she's a former winner. But so far, she has been playing a pretty decent game. But I think as a winner, she needs to be playing a near perfect game.
All right, so this is the night before the triple. Everyone put your David vibes out there into the universe. He's got this. He's going to win the HOH. ENZO, that's it. You're winning the other HOH show. We're having the David ENZO party tomorrow. Let's get your thoughts on all of this, though. What did you think about the episode tonight? Who do you want to see win HOH tomorrow during the triple if we have 2 HOHs? Who do you want to see out? Let us know, and if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and support us further. Check those links to the store, our Patreon. We'll see you here next time.